What's going on, everybody? It's Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So in today's video, we're going to be doing another overall market update, looking at the Dow Jones, the S&P, and the NASDAQ, and we're going to be talking about a trading update. What stocks did I buy? What stocks did I sell today on the 14th of November in 2018? And some other, stocks and ETFs that I'm watching for the rest of this week. So for those of you guys that are new to my channel, my name is Stas, and I make videos dealing with swing trading, day trading, long-term investing, and my personal philosophies and strategies when it comes down to investing and trading in the stock market. So for those of you guys who want to learn more about that, feel free to drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram as well as on Twitter, and join our Discord group chat as well as our Facebook group. All of those are linked down below in the description box. So overall today, guys, the market is red. So let's just talk about what's going on in the overall market and some key stocks that are pretty much dragging down the market in my personal opinion. So overall today, guys, the market is about to close in 4 minutes. We're going to hear that bell beep, go off in about 4 minutes here on my Think or Swim platform. But, the Dow Jones is down about 200 points today, down about 0.8%. So, pretty much, guys, the support levels that we were talking about in the previous couple of videos, if you guys recall, we were talking about the 180 SMA being a support level when the Dow Jones was here, the 50 SMA being a support level when it was hovering over here, and, pretty much all of those support levels have been broken beneath of. So right now, guys, the Dow Jones is kind of free falling. It's like a falling knife, and, it has not yet to find a bottom. So this is something that we're waiting for in the overall markets, guys, is for them to find a bottom. And as of now, according to these technicals, guys, even though I did draw out this little trend line, that does not mean it's holding above this little trend line. It's still technically free falling right now. So what would make it, not be in that state of free falling anymore? Well, we'll need to see a couple of days of consolidation or a couple of days of green days upwards push for that to be a valid bounce point right here, let's say, or down here, wherever it ends up consolidating. So overall, guys, the Dow Jones again down 200 points, down 0.8%. Now let's take a look at the overall S&P performance today. Same exact thing, guys. We were talking about whether or not the S&P was going to hold above the 50 SMA. Did not end up holding those levels. We broke below there, and now we're free falling with no support, set in sight, right? Pretty much, the support is actually right around here, but we haven't really seen a couple of days of consolidation to really verify that support level. So tomorrow, if we do break below here, guys, that's a break below that support level, and we could be going to the next support level at about 2,600 and 45, 50-ish dollars. So right now, guys, the markets on a technical basis, they're not looking too good. They've broken below the support levels. They're in free fall mode right now with no bottom yet identified. So if we look at the NASDAQ very quickly, guys, this one got hit pretty hard today, down about 1%, down about $72, and this is mostly because of Apple. Apple has been getting crushed, guys. This one was literally a $205 stock a couple of days ago. Now it's at the $185 price point. And my long-term position in Apple, guys, my average cost is at about $175-ish dollars. So I really don't mind this, actually. I would love to see Apple get down to, $150. I know that's being very, very kind of like stretching it a little bit. I don't think Apple is going to get that low, but I'd be actually very happy if it did get that low because I want to load up on more, Apple shares, but I was not going to buy them in the 200 level. I couldn't justify that, but anything under 180, guys, is pure money in the bank in my personal opinion for Apple, and I'm going to be loading up money there. So overall, guys, just taking a look at the technicals in terms of the NASDAQ, we got rejected here by the 180 SMA. We were trying to hold this little trend line that we drew out here. We were actually holding it for a couple of days, but now that we broke below that, we're pretty much falling, and we're looking to hold above the next support level at about 67.50. And if we don't, guys, this one could continue to make lower lows and continue to fall in price. So that's what the overall markets are looking like right now, guys. A bunch of the big name stocks have been getting hit over the past couple of days. Apple being the big main one, guys. This literally was a $1 trillion company. Now it's around, a $900 billion company. I think it's, creeping a little bit below that. So the market cap has fallen, 1/10 since this stock has been selling off from the peak of about $233. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on. Netflix, in my personal opinion, guys, Netflix is in a bear market right now. This stock has fallen from 423 all the way to about 280. That is a ridiculous drop in just a matter of literally like 4 or 5 months, guys. This stock's down 50% from the peak at $425. So, just something to keep an eye on, guys. A bunch of these big stocks are falling in price, dragging down the overall, market. So today, guys, was a crazy day in the natural gas ETF. And, the title of this video was, UGAZ has gone crazy, something like that. And that's exactly what's ended up happening, guys. UGAZ has gone absolutely ballistic. It's been preposterous over the past couple of days how much this ETF has been flying off the shelves. It's literally up $100 today. It's up 60%. So I was able to trade UGAZ rather today on 4 separate occasions, and we're going to talk about that very quickly right now. And this is all I was able to trade today, guys, because I exceeded my goal. I think I reached about 10%, and we're going to calculate what I made today, in terms of UGAZ right here on this video. And I'm going to pull up my phone here and look through the trades because there's a bunch of trades, and I want to get it right for you guys so we can calculate the exact percent on what I did make. So let's look at the 5-day, 5-minute chart. Actually, let's look at the 1-day, 1 minute. So something very similar happened to the previous trades that I've been making with UGAZ. If you guys recall the previous 2 days, we saw massive push in terms of pre-market for UGAZ and then a sell-off heading into market open. And what does that do? That opens up a profit margin for UGAZ. And this is a very good sign, guys, because it gives us an identifiable amount of return that we could potentially make on the investment heading into the market. So, we peaked at about $235, sold, pre-market, we peaked at $235, sold off to about $200 heading into the market. Saw strong consolidation here, guys, which was a very good sign, and then we started to break up. And I put my money here. Let me just pull up the app very quickly. I do believe it was at about $204. Let me just pull up my app. Let me just log in. Hold up, guys. Give me a second. So, yeah, I think I did. It was about like 200. Let me just look here. I think it was like 204. All right, so my first order in terms of UGAZ was, at about 10:15. It was actually $205. $205.60 is when I originally put in my money. I think that was like right around here. Added more money at about $207. This was all in the morning, guys. I was talking about this in the chat. And then I ended up selling. My first profit take was at about 200. And what does that say? $214.54. So I ended up selling off right here. And that first trade was about, let's say, 205.82 up to about 214. I made 4% on that particular trade. And my next trade, in terms of UGAZ, I got back in, I believe. Yeah, I took my profits there, and I talked about it in the chat, how I got back in at around $215. I got back in on this little dip, I believe. Yep, because we peaked at about 217, dipped a little bit, got back at 215, held through the pain, added more money, I believe, at like 216 here. And when did I actually sell this time? There's so many orders here, guys. It's getting a little confusing. I sold at... I got in at 215, then 216, then I ended up selling at $221. Oh, yep, that's exactly what happened. Yep, I sold because we were nearing this resistance point, this pre-market resistance, the first pre-market resistance at $221. So I took some profits off the board there. Actually, I took all my profits off the board there. We pulled back, and let's see, I entered again, actually. I got back in again at $217.68, and I believe that was a little bit later in the day, right? Yeah, I think I got in again a little bit later. It might have been like... Yeah, it might have been like right here. I got in at 217 again here. We popped up, held here, added a little bit more money, and I actually ended up selling off again at $225. I took my profit right around here. So that was about a nice little 3% trade. So right on the day, guys, right here, I'm up about 7%. Then I took another trade, guys. This was just like pretty much all day. Literally, I got in again at 225 here, I believe, because we held above this resistance point, made it a new support point, got in here, and then you guys saw it took off here. Ended up taking my profits here at about $237. Just took a little bit off the board as we got to this next resistance point. Wanted to take some profits, actually took the whole profits again, and that's pretty much when I ended up being done trading for the day, guys. So separate occasions, 4 separate occasions. Actually, no, it was 4 separate occasions. I only talked about 3. So then on the 4th occasion, this was actually a very, very small trade. I got in at about 200, and I think it was about like $240-ish right here. Ended up trading it, selling it at about $244, and that was it for the day, guys. So pretty much 4 separate occasions, 4 wins today. Today was a very good day for me in terms of the stock market. I believe I got around 10%. If you're able to add all those percentages from the trades that I just talked about, it should be around 10%. And my daily goal is at about 4 to 5%. So I pretty much doubled it today. Very, very good day for me in the overall stock market. And I didn't want to trade it again due to it being around that 250, 260-ish resistance point that we saw pre-market hours for UGAZ, and it's pretty much been there for the rest of the day. So I made a good call by not trading it again because I didn't want to get close to that resistance point where the margin was really squeezed to not too much, right, guys? And I was already up 10% for the day. Didn't want to risk any more money. So that's pretty much it for the day, guys, for what I personally did in terms of trading today. Some other stocks to keep an eye on, guys, if this market continues to sell off, and with oil being in the state that it's currently in, DRIP could potentially be a very good trade tomorrow. And, a lot of talk has been in the group chats about these leveraged ETFs, people swing trading them, not cutting losses. My personal opinion, guys, and the fact behind, these inverse leveraged ETFs, and I've talked about this a bunch on my channel in the past, is that they're not really meant for long-term swing trades. These are mostly meant for day trading, right? If you really just look at the website of these different inverse ETFs, it'll tell you there, guys. These are most, used for day trading and, very short. Well, they're not really meant for very short swing trades, but you really can get away with it if you do the proper, analysis. And if you really look at the charts, guys, there have been times where you can be able to trade, you'll be able to trade DRIP for a couple of days, right? Gush for a couple of days. It's not really a bad thing to swing trade these for a couple of days, but really you're not meant to swing trade them for over, a week or 2, right? That's something that is not meant to happen. And, a lot of people have been getting burned from one particular ETF being DGAZ, right? This one has been getting slaughtered over the past couple of weeks. A bunch of people have lost money. And, it's really just a learning lesson, guys. You got to treat these leveraged ETFs as very volatile investments that are only meant for very short trades, whether it be a day, a day or 2, 3 days, whatever. So keep that in mind, guys. And, I'm going to be watching DRIP tomorrow. As long as oil keeps selling off, XOP keeps selling off, I believe DRIP is going to be a very, very good trade. Another couple of stocks to keep an eye on, and I've been talking about these, very similar stocks in pretty much every single video, is SQ. This one has been holding this trend very nicely right here, that under, above this trend line that I was able to draw for it. We saw a little red day today in SQ, but again, the overall markets have been selling off. So this one being down 3%, it does offer a little dip buy opportunity because for me, I am swing trading this one. I'm in at about $74, still holding, and I've not yet to average down, but very interested to add more money if this is able to hold this particular trend. Another interesting stock today, guys, is AMD, and on a technical perspective, guys, this one's looking very attractive. So we saw a $1.2 move today. We saw a 6% move today in the stock. It held perfectly above this trend that we drew, broke above the EMA line and the 50-day SMA, and this one is going to be looking good with the next resistance up at about $22.07. So in terms of stocks, guys, not ETFs, in terms of stocks, AMD is at the top of my list tomorrow in terms of, trading. So let's take a look at some other ones, guys. Tesla has been consolidating here at about 340-ish, 345. So keep an eye on this particular stock to see whether this is a consolidation point for a, pullback, or if this is a consolidation point for the next pop up and potentially up to $380. So keep an eye on that, guys. Keep an eye on the natural gas ETFs for sure tomorrow. Keep an eye on the weed stocks. If you guys, believe in weed, they've been selling off, pretty heavily since the legalization in Canada over a couple of weeks ago. And, pretty much, over the past month, I would say they've been selling off heavily. And we saw a big push up to $46. We're looking at Canopy Growth right now, and we're seeing a little hold above this support level at around $30. So it's going to be interesting to see if this could be another good entry point as a little swing trade in Canopy Growth Company, potentially in Cron, because all of these are looking like they're at dip buy opportunities. So if you do believe the weed stocks are going to be heading into another rally in the next couple of days, next couple of weeks, now would be a pretty good time to hop in. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and join our Discord group chat as well as our Facebook group. All of those are linked down below in the description box. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.